War. War never changes.
Well, it does. It gets a little more portable. Roughly 25 years after its original release on PC, Fallout 1 has finally made it to the PlayStation Vita. This comes a year or so after Northfear ported Fallout 2 Community Edition, a fan-made engine re-implementation, to the platform. Aside from any random bugs that may pop up, the Fallout 2 port plays really well in the system, though you may need to squint to read some of the text. Thankfully, it's all in high-visibility nuclear green, though. Given how well the Fallout 2 port worked out on the system, let's take a look at Fallout 1, probably one of the most asked for classic game ports. I've tried running it in various versions on RetroArch via the DOSBox cores, but it was slow and pretty crash prone. For those that want to cut out early, this port of Fallout Community Edition is nothing like that. It's easy to install, needs virtually no configuration, and runs great. To install it, you'll need a homebrew-enabled PS Vita and the capability of installing VPK files using something like Vita Shell or Molecular Shell. There are two branches of the port available. You can find the stable release on the project's GitHub page, or using a homebrew installer like EasyVPK or Better Homebrew Browser. The development branch is a test build that may have some bug fixes, but may also introduce some new bugs. The development build can be found under the Downloads tab on the Releases page. I've been using the development builds and haven't run into any serious game-breaking bugs or crashes, but your system may become unstable if you allow it to go into sleep mode. I have this problem with a lot of homebrew, so I've just disabled the screen timeout in the system settings. It probably comes from some mix of plugins running on my handheld, but I've yet to narrow it down. After installing the VPK of your choice, copy the data files from your copy of the Fallout game to the Fallout subdirectory in the data directory on your Vita, and be aware that the capitalization of the file names matters. For this, I'm using the files from my copy of Fallout from the Interplay 15th Anniversary Collection, which I think is version 1.06. Copy the master.dat, critter.dat, and data folder from the installed Fallout game to the uxo data/Fallout directory on your Vita. For those with the GOG or Steam releases, it'll work just fine. Copy the same data files from the installation directory to your Vita. If you edit the f1_res.ini file, you can change the screen resolution by changing the scr_width and scr_height parameters. The author recommends 640 by 480, 848 by 480, or 960 by 544 for the resolution. And as noted on the GitHub page, you may want to change the mouse cursor speed if you play using the thumbsticks. The default setting moves a little slow. You can adjust the mouse pointer speed with all the other normal game options under the regular game settings menu. Fallout is pretty well balanced in terms of difficulty versus progression in my opinion. The countdown timer on needing to find the water chip is always there, so the game intentionally avoids having you grind to level up. Instead, you accumulate crippling injuries as you attempt to cope with the challenges of life outside the vault. And you're given the freedom to play more or less how you like, using the set of special skills you choose to develop as you get by. The difficulty is adjustable, but there may be times when you want to alter your save games. There are a few Fallout save game editors out there that work with varying degrees of success. The universal save game editor for Fallout 1 and 2 is probably the least likely to break your save game, but it's also a good idea to back up your games before fiddling with them. The download for this is available on the author's Google page, which is linked below. Download the editor and then extract the files. Connect your Vita, load Vita Shell, and launch the USB connection. Run the editor and point it to the base game directory on your Vita and click OK. Once the editor loads, select your save game from the list, edit the values you want to change, and then click the save button in the lower left-hand corner. Adding items may corrupt your save file, so if you want to avoid that possibility, stick to editing quantities of items your character already has in inventory. This port is one I've hoped was coming for a long time, and it doesn't disappoint. Fallout on the Vita plays really well, and its turn-based nature of combat really suits the console. The controls come pre-configured in a sensible way, and the touchscreen makes it easy to navigate dialogue choices and inventory. So definitely check this one out if you're looking for another adventure in the wasteland. You can find all the links down in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with some more Vita homebrew videos soon.